Welcome to MamaCon 2020. Love Mama Inspires. I know that you probably could be doing a million other things today, but I'm so glad that you were able to join us today. And we have had this amazing conference. Now we're on day 3. So let's get it. So please forgive me. I like to always do this disclaimer. Please forgive me if I shed a few tears during this conversation. I just want you to know that if you like something that I'm saying, I want you to send me some hearts and do some thumb snaps or some thumbs up or something to let me know that, hey, that resonates with my soul. So I want you to be involved in this conversation and know that I'm sharing my story with you. And again, I'm so grateful for this opportunity. And today I am here to share with you how to change your stinking thinking. No judgments, but progression. So, first of all, who is this conversation? Who does this conversation include? Let me just let you know this conversation is for someone. If someone has ever told you that you are not good enough, or someone has ever made you feel like your accomplishments would never come to fruition, or that whatever you thought that you could do was not going to amount to anything, let me tell you something. This conversation is for you. You are what God says that you are. This conversation is for you if you are mentally playing those recordings from the past, and those recordings are telling you, hey, you remember when you used to do this? Or you remember when you used to be that person? Or you remember when, people always like to bring that up. See, I'm the youngest of 13 children, and people always remind me about, hey, that's my baby sister, or that's my little sister, And so when people would put you do those things, they try to put you in a box, right? So it's not that they mean any harm, but people only talk about what they know, right? And what they can relate to. So those recordings that are playing in your head, like over and over again, telling you, hey, this is not good. You're not good enough. This is not going to amount to anything. You're never going to make any money doing this speaking thing. You're never going to make any money selling those wares or those candles or anything like this. This is for you. Okay. So I want to let you know these recordings need to be they need to be erased, and we need to record brand new recordings, right? So this conversation is also for you if you want to move beyond your past and you want to change your thoughts about your future, right? Because that's what this is all going to be about, your mindset. The mindset, it all begins with a thought, then it gets into your mouth, and then it gets into your hands, and then it gets into your feet. Okay, and we're going to talk about those things and how they can transform us and make us to be things. And we find ourselves doing things because someone told us that this is what you're going to be. Okay, or this is how you should be when you grow up, or when you become, this is what success looks like. So we're going to talk about that. So let me just put this out there also. This conversation is not for those that have it all figured out. If you have it all figured out, don't tune out, but also just tune in, and hopefully there will be something that will also you'll be able to put in your store cup and walk away today as well. So who am I? My name is Dr. Andrea Blue. And many people say, why do you want people to call you doctor? I earned my doctorate through so many struggles, so much heartache, so much pain. My mother was going through her end of life struggle. And I was like, Mom, I don't think I can go on anymore. I don't think I can, I don't want to do my doctoral degree, because at that time I was doing it because this is something that we had discussed. But she said, you need to go on and get your doctoral degree. And when I tell you, when I walked across that stage, my doctoral degree was for my mother, that, it was a hardworking woman. And, that's another story for another time. But that is the reason that I completed my doctoral degree. And God did it. God did it for me. So I am an author, I'm a mentorship coach, I am a serial entrepreneur and a consultant. I focus on career, I focus on education, entrepreneurship, employment recruitment, and personal development. And I have been in business for myself for the past 10 years. And let me tell you, I love it. Okay. So, what do I know about mindset and changing my stinking thinking? Let me tell you, I've learned that what you think you are, you will become. I remember when I was young and people used to tell me, hey, you're going to just have a house full of babies. You're not going to do anything. And I'm the type of person that if you tell me I can't do something, that is going to give me the fuel, okay? The fuel to go ahead and say, oh, okay, so you don't believe in me. You don't think that I can. So that means that I have to show you different. So therefore, I push myself. I have 2 master's degrees, a doctoral degree. I own my own business. My children are part of my business. And I am so determined to not just do this for myself, but I am determined to do this for other people. I had been told that I was not good enough from childhood, and it carried on into abusive relationship or a marriage for 14 years. If anybody knows about being in an abusive relationship, let me see those fingers snap. Let me see those thumbs going up so that I can tell you about that. But that would be another story for another time. This person tried to break me physically, spiritually, and emotionally. But I tell you, but God was the one that brought me out. So if anybody knows me, they knows that Dr. Blue is a woman of faith. And I will stop in the middle of a conference, in the middle of a seminar, a workshop, or whatever. We need to pray. Let us pray, or I'll say a silent prayer, because I just believe that prayer changes things. And I'm not one of those super religious type of people, but I just know that the power of prayer means a great deal, and it works, and it works. So I didn't know what was going on in my life, and I didn't know why things were happening the way that they were happening in my life. And I just felt like I know that something needed to change, but I wasn't sure exactly how to get there, right? But I do want to say that I didn't want to blame anybody, because it was my decision to marry this person. It was my decision to be in a relationship with this person. So therefore, I had to take on the ownership of what it was, and I had to change it so that I can say that no longer. I needed to break those cycle and change my mind and say that you are more than enough. You can have more. You can be more. There is more for you out there, no matter what no one else is saying about you, no matter what, whatever the blame is, whatever is going on, you don't deserve it. You need to go ahead and move forward. So in my mind, I kept saying, yes, yes, I know, but how? Right? We all say that, like in our mind, we're like, yes, we know that we want more. We know that we need more, but how? Right? So I kept searching and researching, and then if I don't know how to do it, I'm going to research. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to try to figure it out, because I know that the place that I was in, it was wearing on my mind, and my thought process was just so worn down. At the time, I was working 2 jobs, full-time jobs. I was working a job from 11 at night to 7 in the morning, and then at 8 o'clock in the morning I would go to another job from 8 to 5, right? And during that time I was going to school as well during the day. So I was doing that for about 3 years, and then all of a sudden my body crashed. When I say that my body crashed, I wound up in the hospital because I just was so emotionally and mentally drained. And throughout that process, I could just feel and hear, the thoughts being said in my head, like, you got to get out of this. Something is not right. If you don't, then something is going to happen. You need to figure out what you're going to do so that you can move on to the next step, right? So I tell you that God is a God of second chances. And throughout that, God brought me the love of my life. He is my king. He is the one that I lean on, and I know that he is a godsend because it took a special type of man to break through the barriers and the heartache that I was going through. It was not just a typical man that could come by and sweet talk me and, oh, you're so pretty. Oh, I already know that. My dad used to tell me that. But this man, he was able to break through the barriers and get to the heart of me and to the soul of me. So we met in 2007 and we were married in 2013. And I tell you that we have been inseparable since. So that's how I'm able to tell you what I know about the mindset and how, and changing my uh, think, stinking thinking. Okay. So when did my mindset change? So let me tell you this story. And I may shed tears when I tell you this because I was sitting on the side of my bed, right? And I was just praying. I was like, God, I got to get out of this situation. And if anybody knows about visions, how God, you're not asleep, but you're awake. But I was like in between, like awake, but I was just on the side of the bed, waking up right before you make coffee or whatever. And the vision came to me, and it was just like, hey, if you don't get out of this relationship, this is exactly what's going to happen. So at the bottom of in my bedroom, at the bottom of my dresser, this drawer was always out, right? So it was just showing my vision that I was going to hit my head. He was going to push me, and I was going to hit my head on my temple, and I was going to bleed out, and he was going to just watch me bleed out, right? And so I was like, all right. And so I was like, okay, God, all right. So I was so locked into saving my family, and because I had young children, and I didn't want to be a statistic of being a divorcee. So I just was like, I'm locked in. I'm going to see what I need to do, to do this. So that following Sunday, I went to church, right? And I'm not trying to get all churchy or religious, but I'm just telling my story about what happened to me. So I went to church that next Sunday, and I was in the prayer line. So anybody know about the prayer line? If you know about the prayer line, let me see you put them thumbs up. I'm telling you, I was in the prayer line, and I was standing there, and he just stood there before me. He said exactly my vision, the way that I was going to die. I was going to hit my head on the corner of a dresser, and then I was going to bleed out. And that was the way that I was going to die. And for me, when my vision was repeated, it was like that was confirmation. I was like, okay, all right, God, I hear you. I said, I don't know how. I don't know how. I don't know when. I don't know where. I said, but I know that it has to be. Something has to change. My mindset has to change. There has to be more. There has to be more. So I was done. I didn't know what I was going to do at the time, but I trusted God to take care of it, right? So from that point, I filed my divorce, and then 14 years, since 2000, I was divorced, and God just allowed me to, have another chance at love. And it all began with my thinking, because if I didn't think that I was worth anything, or I didn't think that, hey, this is good enough, or, this is it, this is all that I deserve, this is all that I'm going to get, then I would have just, stuck in that relationship. But where did I get my strength? I began to reach out and to help other men, women, and children that were in the same type of situation. I didn't want to wait until the battle was over, because I wanted to help now. So I want to encourage you that if you're going through something right now, don't wait till it's over. Start to help someone now that is in your same very situation, so that you can help them as well. And that'll help you with your mindset to change it, so that you can say, hey, I can do better, and I can see them beyond their today and into their tomorrow. And I tell you, this story that I tell is my life. It's not something that is made up or something that somebody told me. This is something that, is my life. I am no longer stuck or in that trapped mindset. I will never, ever let another man, woman, or child feel the abandonment, the hurt, the shame, or the abuse again the way that I felt as long as I live. And if I know anything about it, I'm going to do something about it. And why will I continue this work? This work for me is not a job, this is a ministry. I am not churchy, but I keep it real with you and I'll tell you the truth, whether it hurts now, but it will help you later. I will continue to help transform, empower, and to move the mindset from your today and into your tomorrow with a detailed plan. Now, how will this information help others? I use Blue Pathways as a platform that is used to offer coaching and consulting services to individuals from grades 5 through a lifetime. You're never too old and you're never too young to change your mindset. You're never too old and you're never too young to change your mindset. So I wanted to share my story with you today, and I hope that this helps someone to change their stinking thinking today and to stop feeling like you're not good enough or just because someone told you from your past that you're not good enough. So I would just like to encourage you that if you would like to continue to work with Dr. Blue and with Blue Pathways, please join me on my virtual book tour that I will have, which will be on May 17th at 3 p.m. I will have a virtual book signing for you to pre order my book, which is called Herstory Memoirs from Mothers to Daughters as Their Mentors. Again, the name of my book is Herstory Memoirs from Mothers to Daughters as Their Mentors. So you will find more information on my website, which is Blue Pathways Mentorship Services.com, and you can click on shop. Again, my website is Blue Pathways Mentorship Services.com, and you can click on shop. Connect with us today, complete a request, and someone will get back to you. Again, remember to work to change your stinking thinking. Again, thank you for this opportunity to share my story and have an amazing day. Be well.